introduction, huh?
I'll briefly mention. I think some of you have seen me and met me before. My home church, the church, my mother church is actually Malacca Church. I came into church quite a while ago, even though I did not come from an Adventist family, but I guess all my cell are Adventist already because it's too long ago. Too long ago I became Adventist. But I've been working in Penang Adventist Hospital for quite a while now, since 1994. I really thank God, and I thank the church for developing me. I went through the union sponsorship to study medicine in Christian Medical College, and then after I graduated, I came back in 1990, and then I served the government for 4 years. The day I could resign, I resigned and joined Penang Adventist Hospital. I guess courtesy of my wife, you know. If I have not married my wife, I probably wouldn't serve Penang Adventist Hospital. Luckily, no boss here. No bosses here. Oh, but it's got secret agent here, secret undercover agent. So yeah, it's true. You know, actually, I still remember those days. Actually, Pastor David Liu, you know, was the president, and he was talking to me to start the mission clinic in Kuala Lumpur. And I said, we must start the mission clinic in Kuala Lumpur. But when I married, you know, wife can change many things, right? So, you know, she's very good at asking questions. She did not paksa me to change my direction. Anyway, that's how I ended up in Penang Adventist Hospital, and I've been there since then, you know, in 1994. And of course, I had my boss, my ex-boss, who trained me up, Dr. Pang. I think for those of you from Klang Valley, you're probably quite familiar with Dr. Pang. She is a very capable lady, and she went through the training in Loma Linda, and she came back, so she trained me. Yeah, so most of the knowledge I tapped from her as my basis, learning about all New Start and all these things. Then after that, of course, I had to read and study, and then conferences, and of course training, just like this one. Okay, most of the lifestyle thing actually I learned through just attending all these things, you know, having different experts coming to share. And yeah, I didn't go to school further. I didn't go to Loma Linda, no. Okay, any of other Adventist healthcare training center. Oh, here. Okay, okay. So I'm going to start about exercise. Actually, it's not a good thing to talk about exercise and let you all sit around quietly, right? That's why Sister Ellen said must make you all exercise. But how to exercise in this? I do not know how to teach charobics or aerobics. I'm not sure anybody lead charobics or aerobics. No? Yeah, I know you used to do that. Sister Jing Xiu said, so maybe she can lead. I can't. I don't know how to lead. My form of exercise is actually walking, hiking, cycling. I also lift a bit of weight nowadays, as I also... have you read all your notes? You know, you all have the file, right? You all have the file, right? So the part on exercise, which is on the front part, the God's plan for health, the page 2 actually talk about exercise. Actually, it says at your age. Of course, the Gen X, the Gen Y, or what do you call millennials, millennials and the Gen Z, y'all don't need, y'all can act your age, y'all can do roller skating and whatever it is, but me belong to the baby boomers or the what do you call, what's the other one, the earliest? Builders, the builders and baby boomers, we must act our age. So if you need to bring tongkat, use tongkat. I have not yet need tongkat, but I don't run as much as I used to. Now I walk. I don't run anymore. knee can get problem, you know. For those of you who knows, as people ages, some people need to have knee replacement. So I decided that if I need knee replacement at all, I better delay it as long as possible. So I stopped running. I still hike, but I also reduced my hiking. I used to hike 4-5 times a week. Now I only hike once a week, and the other time I walk only. Okay, so this is my exercise, and I would like to say that actually the best way of physical activity, exercise is a form of physical activities. The best form of physical activities is actually useful labor. Okay, if you have a farm, you don't have to do physical exercise. Actually, you need to do mental exercise. Okay, if you have a farm, please do mental exercise. And then of course you keep your farm producing fruits for us lah. Okay, banana or whatever. You should work physical labor, but you know you already do physical labor. No need to do go and jogging and hiking anymore lah. You know what you need is to do mental exercise. Okay, this is a balance of life. You know, Adventism is actually a way of life. Okay, but I think since many, I'm not sure, I think many, like if not most of you are like me, work in the office and sit around most of the time. So therefore we need exercise. Okay, the exercise that I talk about, you know, walking, hiking, cycling. Because even if I want to plant, there's no land for me to plant. Land is too expensive. Land is too expensive. Where's the computer? Here. Which one? Right button. Oh, okay. So this I would like to acknowledge. This actually the front part of the preparation. You know you have my notes in your file. Actually, I got it mainly from this place. Okay, this presenter, this person who prepared for the 2008 Beijing Olympic. Okay, so physical activities is body movement that use muscles. Okay, physical fitness is the ability to do physical activities that require your stamina. Keep it simple. Regular physical activity is just, well, doing a pattern. You know, regular as you know, it can be weekly, it can be daily. Too far. Okay, so what is exercise? Exercise is a form of physical activities, primarily doing it to improve your health and fitness. Sports is different. Sports is different. Sport is competitive. Okay, it also does not have the rhythmic and moderate physical activity. Okay, sports you have sometimes you need to respond to your opponent. You know, a guy drop the shuttlecock in front, you have to try to run. That's when you, for the old people, the Gen X or the builder can get a torn tendon and all this thing. Okay, or it can get meniscus tear. All these are sports injury. Okay, so sports has this problem. Okay, but exercise is like old men like me, you know. To some young people can be boring. You know, walking, exercise, walking, or hiking, or cycling. But now cycling is an in thing, right? Quite fanciful to a lot of people. Okay, so when you want to advise your church members or your audience about exercising, so you can anticipate some question. Why people don't want to exercise? You want to use reason or excuse, you know. So these are the things. I don't want to sweat, you know. I don't like sweating, smelly. I don't have time, too busy. I look stupid when I go around and exercise. I look stupid because some people do not exercise. I don't know what to do. I think it's not important and it hurts. Sometimes, you know, if you're not used to exercise, you go to exercise, actually you can have pain, right? Pretty normal, you know, to have pain. Change it. Okay, forget this. Or just keep it simple. When you review your notes, you know the healthier the person. Oh, cannot see. The comparison is the sickness. The fit people actually are less sick. CVD mortality means cardiovascular disease mortality. Mortality means mati. Okay, mortality means mati. Okay. So heart attack and strokes death compared to fitness. So the people who are fitter actually have less. And then body fat also. Okay, so I don't know which one is body fat, which one is mortality. But it all, let's say, the people who are fittest has less body fat and less death due to heart attack or stroke. The fatter person, the less fit person will actually have more death and fatter also. Okay, so it's just all these are just trying to convince people why exercise is important. Exercise helps to control weight. Actually, the very important thing is actually exercise helps you to feel better. If you want to feel better, exercise is one. Okay, so I'll tell you, what kind of exercise to make it simple, especially for older people. And for the younger people who are not used to exercise, actually, exercise is not so hard. Like the person who give the reason of, I do not know what to do. Exercise reduce blood pressure. Exercise help to develop new blood vessel in your heart, in your different parts of the body. Exercise enlarge the blood supply, enlarge the arteries to improve the blood supply. Exercise reduce the risk of colon cancer. Exercise improve the bone health, improve the muscle, improve the joint, so that we can become more functional. And of course, exercise also protects us from all these diseases. Okay, so this is another way of saying health risk due to physical inactivity means if you are not physically active, you're more likely to get all these diseases. One thing is very difficult for us to say that the person who don't exercise maybe live longer than the person who exercise quite a bit, because actually there are many other factors. But if you compare a person, you compare a large population, then there will be a clear-cut differences. Or if we are able to clone people, clone me, clone 100% of me, same genes, same everything, same way of eating, except 50 exercise, 50 don't exercise. So the differences will be obvious. Okay, but because human being, we live in an environment where we do many things. So you may not exercise, but you eat very healthy. I may be exercise, but I eat very unhealthy. I also smoke. I also drink alcohol. So I still will die faster than you, right? Because of many other practices. But if we can cancel all this and just purely do this, and then you'll know that, okay, exercise will prevent all these diseases. Okay. What can exercise do for you? Similar, the other two. Actually, very important for children, for young people, for people who are still going for school, going for university degree or whatever. Exercise enhances mental abilities. Okay, exercise make you smarter, to keep it simple. So for people who are studying, now no more PEM, it's called PT3 or UPSR, PT3 or SPN or STPM or whatever diploma and whatever. Exercise make you smarter. Exercise make you sleep better. And if you want to improve your memory, you need to sleep better. Very simple. So actually, Dr. Neil Nedley, one of our famous Adventist doctor who promote mental health a lot nowadays, say you can make yourself smarter. You can make your children smarter by following many of these health principles found in spiritual prophecy. You should not make your children smarter only. You should make yourself smarter also. Because of your example, then your children will follow those examples and become smarter. Because being smart is more enjoyable, right? Yeah, happier. You live a happier Christian life, more joyful Christian life. You will be able to impress and witness for Christ better. Okay, so of course, less depressed also means happier. Less manage stress better, also happier. If you have more energy, you also happier. So it's true, exercise make you happier, make you a more joyful Christian. And when you control weight, you also have better self-image, better appearance, better health. So there's no reason not to exercise. Okay, right? I think I'll skip all this. I think you all are convinced already. Exercise is good for you. You are going to do. So I'm going to tell you what to do with how to do it. So all these things, never mind. Exercise also improve immune system. If you fall sick easily, so exercise is a simple way to improve immune system. Okay, increase insulin sensitivity, improve diabetes. So if you don't know how to tell, the nutrition expert, all these people teach you. Sometimes nutrition can be very complicated. When you want to advise a diabetic how to improve, can be very complicated, right? Never mind, just walk with the person, bring them to exercise. You will find that when they feel better, then maybe it's easier to muscle the nutrition part, change of diet part. Because change of diet part can be very technically difficult or logistically, how to do it, where to get the food, how to cook to the taste the person wants. That's even harder. Okay, that's one harder. You always tell them, never mind, you must tahan, adjust your taste bud. Which is actually hard to convince. People Adventists, maybe we can adjust taste bud better, easier. But diabetics, a lot of them, they like to eat. Okay, I skip this. Go to how to exercise. Okay, this one important. So, how can you get opportunity? Remember, I tell you, the most important physical activity that keep your good health should not be exercise program. You know, for people who live in Klang Valley, when you are so busy, when you actually have to go out to work so early, honestly, so actually, if you are able to do is basically your physical activity. You incorporate your so-called exercise into your physical activity, like running after the bus, running after MRT, yes. For transport, you use it, or when you mop with the rhythm, put down the cherubic music and then mop with the rhythm. Don't use robotic vacuum cleaner okay? Then you don't working already, right? You just mop with the rhythm, Very good, That will make the housework enjoyable. That's why you are happier when you do physical activity, right? Even housework can be very enjoyable for the husband. Sounds good to the ladies. Okay. Domestic duty, leisure time, go for walk. There's a tendency I noticed that in the cities, including Penang, people tend to go and walk in the mall, in the shopping mall. No good. It's better to bring the kids to the park, because in the shopping mall you look at all these things are all man-made things, so you harder to remember creator. No, you always remember the creator of the thing you see. So these are all human beings, right? In the park, when you see the trees and even the bugs, even the semut or the mosquito, you still will remind you, human being just cannot make mosquito, or cannot make flies, cannot make whatever centipedes, So then you remind you of the Creator God, right? Right. So we can incorporate. And actually, I also in my work, I also advise my executive, the fathers. I say, I encourage you to go exercise, but I think it's probably better you relieve your wives, for those with small kids, or even a bit bigger one also is good. The one that is 7, 8 years old is still good to connect with your children. Otherwise, the children only know the mother and obey the mother. Don't bother about the father. So the father can bring the kids out and then relieve the wife, so that the wife can have some time to meditate and think about the Bible or think about long-term things. So the father also have some time to spend with the kids. And for exercise, yesterday or Friday, I just spoke to one. I say, now the baby is 6 months old. I say, you just carry a baby and go for a walk. Your wife will be happy with you. You will be happy yourself that you got the exercise also. Actually, it's an adjustment of mind. Okay, so what can motivate you to exercise? Set some goals. Like I tell you already, there are so many benefits. The most important benefit is that you'll be happier. I always believe life. We must be living a joyful Christian life. Jesus came to this world to give you, and He promised you an abundant life. An abundant life is a joyful life. It's a joyful Christian life. It's a happy life. So you go exercise, you'll be happier, right? Or if no place to exercise, just do housework. You can be happier also. Just turn on the music. You can turn on the Christian music also can mop. Okay, short term, I think that is the best way. You feel happier. Long term, you feel fitter. Okay, in 1 week, 3 months, a year. I changed from the original slide. You go to see the original, to tell you 1 year, 3 years, 10 years. I think that's too long for me. I think 1 week. I believe in 1 week. For those of you who use a lot of computer, Sister Ellen was telling me must teach your stretching. Say stretching take too long to help your pain. Anyone use a lot of computer and having a lot of pain? Okay. Stretching take too long. Only relieve a bit only. I told her use weight. Buy weight. Okay. Buy dumbbell. Sorry, I need to ask you to spend money. But if you don't want to spend money, there's still ways.
Water bottle?
No, water bottle is too light. Half a kilo.
Sand.
pumping. Use your own body weight, okay? You know, pumping, you know how to pumping? Push up. Yeah, you use your own body weight. Okay. I do it there for you. Okay. I'm not saying I'm very good at pumping. Okay. I'm also, my arm you can see are very small, so not very powerful. I'm just teaching you how to adjust. When you don't have enough strength, like Pastor Tai, I think good muscle. Maybe I should get him to demonstrate. Then he will demonstrate better. But anyway, at least many of you will understand I'm not very strong. Okay? So what you do is, if you are not strong, then don't use this one. Okay? This one is harder. Use this one. Use your knee. Okay? You pivot at your knee. And if you still cannot, it's still too hard, then you go nearer until you like in the Jing dynasty when you tunduk to the king 叩头 like that, no? 扎往上倒 like that. You still can. Okay? And of course if you still complain you can't, you can while taking bath, I hope your bathroom is concrete wall, you can push the wall. You push the wall, you will also find that this muscle will exercise and the back muscle will be a bit, but not as good as pumping. But if you see pumping is too difficult, actually, because pumping at work, if you work in a cubicle, like in your mission office, you work in cubicle, you suddenly come down to pumping, your colleague or mission president will buy, hey, what are you doing? So it's probably easier, look nicer to use a dumbbell. And generally small muscle, maybe use 2 kilo is good enough. Okay? For this pain, 2 kilo is enough. Just 3 star only. I only teach people 3 star. 1 star is this. Another star is this. Then another star is this. Okay, of course you need to do enough times. Okay? Well, depend on, if you do until you already feel like a little bit of tired, 20, you can stop, you can move to this side, and then each day you do 3 rounds or 4 rounds, good enough. I guarantee you within 1 week you feel better. I don't believe in this thing about 3 months and 1 year. It's too long. Nowadays we want instant noodle, we want fast food, How can you tell people to get their benefit after 3 months or 1 year? It's too long. 1 week, okay? 1 week. Even push wall, even pumping is 1 week only. Okay? If every day you do it, if you have all this pain, if every day you do it, in 1 week you will find your problem reduced by 25, 50, 75%, probably 75%. Okay? Yes, you need to say anything?
Is it like walls like this?
Yeah, boleh. Boleh also.
Oh,
cheaper lah. Cheaper lah, no need to buy the dumbbell lah. Because this one half a kilo only. Then what do if you cannot hold properly, it's a problem. Like this one you can hold nicely. So I can hold nicely, but it's almost like no weight lah. To me, this one is almost like no weight. Too light. Some of you might work with 1 kilo, but I think 2-3 kilos. For me, I use 4-5 kilos. I think guy like this can use 4-5 kilos. But you want to use more, it's okay. Okay, you want to use more, it's okay. Okay. Now, if you are already older people like Gen X and the builders, please, if you are not sure you have problem or not, please have a checkup. But usually younger people are Adventists, since we don't smoke. Generally, I don't see anybody overweight here. So. If you want to start exercise without having checkup, I think it's okay lah. But exercise, not sports. Sports is different. Sports, if you do competitive sports, be a bit more cautious. I mean, there are people who drop dead playing sports. Okay, even exercise also there are people drop dead. Okay, in Penang there are people go hiking, not very high hill also they can drop dead. But they are already. I know one. Veterinary surgeon, that means Dr. Binatang. Dr. Binatang go hiking, drop dead. Okay, but he hasn't hiked for a long time. So be careful when you are older, or when you all are health ministry leaders, right? Yeah. So when you advise people, when you go back to conduct these classes, please tell your members, and watch if they are older. Please tell them maybe you got to be careful. Listen to the body. Okay. Listen to the body. Okay, equipment, use proper equipment. I think for us who are not like certain very conservative society, they will wear until very covered up, you know. I think it's not a wise thing to cover up until totally. Why? I recently realized that, you know, we really need vitamin D. Yeah, so you don't get sun. We need the sun of righteousness, but we also need the real sun. Serious. We really need a real sun. I measured my vitamin D very low, and you know, I don't always wear long sleeve. I don't wear tudong, you know. So, but I still can get very low vitamin D. So please, you know, exercise in the sun is good at least sometime. Okay, how much is sometime? If you don't like the very hot sun, maybe do half an hour a day. Okay, you can. If you weekday you cannot, then weekend you just tambah it to whatever X times how many days. Okay, but if you can tahan the midday sun, 5 minutes a day is good enough. Okay, 5 minutes a day is good enough. Yep. Yes. In the blood test. In the blood test, it's available in the blood test. Yeah, you go to lab, you can test. Your lab doesn't have. Where? You are working in Adventist hospital? No. Lab have. If you go to BP lab have. I mean, most all the commercial lab will have. You need to ask because they don't put it in the package. Like, you know, you organize activity. Or just detect like that. Okay, how will you know that you are not okay when your vitamin D, like when you don't have enough vitamin C, you get gland bleeding. When you don't get vitamin B, you get pellagra or whatever, angular stomatitis, all these things. When you get vitamin D, less. No. Yeah, I don't think so. You know, my vitamin D was very low, and how I knew because every 2 years in Penang Hospital, I just basically do health checkup for people. So I also, since I do checkup for people, whatever I ask people to do, I must believe in it, right? So I do also lah. Okay. And for a few years, I noticed that my bone density, even though I exercise a lot, remember I told you I hiking. Those days I even hike 4-5 times a week. I noticed each time my bone density is dropping. I eat a healthy diet. I believe in New Start health diet. I was wondering what is wrong with me. Something is wrong. I keep thinking. Then I decided that maybe it's the vitamin D. You know, after a few years, about 3 checkup, then I decided, you know, it's dropping like a normal aging not accelerated, but still I think it's not good enough for an Adventist to age like a normal rate. No, it's a bad advertisement. No, for a wellness doctor. To age as a normal rate is a bad advertisement. Okay, if you don't think it is just bad witness, at least I think it's a bad advertisement for my center. So I decided to check the vitamin D. That's how I decided. Okay, so it's a little bit difficult, you know. I don't sense anything wrong. Okay, I don't sense anything wrong. Vitamin D impact our immune system. Vitamin D impact our bones. Yeah, and quite a few things. Yeah, it's basically vitamin essentially is work like a hormone, So there wasn't any obvious thing that I was experiencing, or my outlook is like normal aging. Okay, so I knew it by testing. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you need to also say what time of the day. So now actually the latest that I read from the research is midday sun, okay, between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m, 5 minutes only, and face and like this, long pants. So that means forearm, hand and face, 5 minutes enough every day. So I have not read anything before 10 a.m. or after 3 p.m. So I would think that the old advice of, you know, like half an hour or mild sun, I think is good enough. But I have not read about it. Okay, so I think it's I have no proof. So I tell you, I maybe kiasu lah, maybe got some Singaporean connection really. So I not only try to get that amount of sun, or I get it from weekend, I also supplement vitamin D nowadays. Okay, yeah, because my bone is deteriorating. I haven't got reversing yet. Okay, so okay, let's come back to this. Yes, Ellen.
Talking just about vitamin D. Dr. Pang actually did a research already on that, and vitamin D in Malaysia, Malaysians are actually very low on vitamin D generally. The survey was done already, and majority, why? Because you go to work before the sun comes out, you come out after the sun go down.
Generally, a lot of us don't want to get sun.
Majority of us, yes.
Because ladies, I know, I understand, I tell them, I know you all don't want the sun. I also don't want my wife to get the sun because she want to go polish her face, cost more money. So I sell myself supplement. But men, I tell them, get the sun, get the sun, get the sun, Because I think, I believe in getting sun have other benefits. Okay? Because vitamin D will not readjust your diurnal rhythm, your circadian rhythm. Okay, sunlight, natural sunlight. Actually, we get too much light when it's supposed to be dark. 100 years ago, before all this light become more commonplace, actually after the sun go down, now it's 7:30 or 7 o'clock, actually it become dark. People only have candle. So it's dark. Then you will want to sleep. I think maybe by 8:30 or 9 o'clock you will sleep. Right? But now, light is everywhere. You stimulate. When you're supposed to sleep, you don't sleep. And then when you're supposed to get the good light, you don't go and get the good light. So you want to, if you have traveled to very far country in a different time zone, you realize that you have problem with jet lag, you cannot sleep. Okay, you cannot sleep. How to adjust your time, how to adjust your circadian rhythm is by going to the sun. And then when you need to be dark, you need to be dark. Okay, God not only commanded the light to come, but God also still allows some night where there's no the physical light, because getting too much of stimulation unnecessary, at night still very busy because this thing ting ting tong tong, ting ting tong tong, ting ting tong tong, so you can't sleep yet, so you just look at the messages in case your boyfriend WhatsApp you. Bad idea, okay, because it stimulates your eye and stimulate your brain, and you all the more cannot sleep. Okay, so turn it off or turn it to silent mode. Put it far away. Yeah. Put it far away. Don't just how it will disturb your sleep. Okay, so anyway, I'm not supposed to talk about sleep and vitamin D. So, okay, aerobic activity. So for exercise, you get aerobic activity, strength and physical flexibility. Okay, three aspects. I did not put the terminology of FITT. Let me write down here. You can see. F is how frequent you should do. Then intensity is how hard you should do. Then how long each session, time per session. And then what's the type of exercise. Okay, so the type of exercise is this aerobic, strength, and flexibility. Okay, so I will tell you muscle. So if we don't improve our muscle, actually we get a lot of this problem of if you sit a long time, you can get all this aching problem. Okay, and having a better muscle also prevent you from getting injury, improve your ability to carry things. Because if your muscle is not very good, you go traveling, you lug your luggage, you carry your luggage from the upper compartment in the air cabin, and you can get an injury, overstrain, and then get some tendon pull or sprain. Okay, use it and lose it. This is true. Okay, as we grow older, actually we lose muscle bulk very fast. Okay, right. So strength training. So I sort of told you quite simple one. Pumping, using your own body weight for upper end. For lower end is actually you can do lunges. You can do like that. It's considered a strength training exercise or to train your muscle. It's just like that. Just like squatting. Okay, this is not exactly squatting, but you can squat also. You can. You know why nowadays our muscle is not as good because no more no more the bang sai this way. Yeah, you know, so you see old people actually when they get to over 80 I think they have difficulties standing up from the sofa, right? Wow, they have to push very hard with their hand to help them to get up, or somebody have to fold them. Because they don't get this practice of every day. I think in the kampong still like that, right? That's a good practice, you know. Then they are 70, 80, they still can. 90, they still can. Because they, what is it called? Jongko? Jangko. Jangko, okay. I learned a Malay word, good. It's a very good training. So these are all different strength training. Free weights, I won't instruct you on how much to build. We are not here to teach people to do bodybuilding, right? So if you use a little bit of weight to maintain, tone up muscle is good enough. For those of you who want to build muscle in the gym, please go and get trainers. Yeah? So just now I tell you, this is lunges is this one, okay? Like this. Like this is called lunges, okay? So this actually train the muscle on the thigh and the buttock. Okay, these are form of resistance training or strength training. Okay, of course you can use free weight. This one just now I tell you about how toning up your muscle really help your computer problem. For those of you who work with computers, sit around in front of a computer in the office a lot, you find a lot of aching. I guarantee you, in 1 week you'll feel better. Okay, flexibility. As we grow older, also I think it's not a problem for the millennial and the Gen Z. And what is the other one? Gen Y. I forgot. I know you have friends. Gen X. Okay, Gen X, millennial, and then Gen Z. Right? So these are the people. Maybe you don't have this problem yet, but people like me, baby boomers, and this have problem already. Okay, getting less and less. All this stretching. Okay, so the better you stretch, actually it prevent injury also. It helps. You know, like this one. I tell you, I used to be able to do it very easily. You know, I've forgotten to do it for a long time, and now it's difficult to get it. I mean, not very difficult, but last time I used to do it with ease. You know, like what Pastor Tan. Maybe you show them. You want to see? You all can turn back lah. Then Pastor Tan. Oh, cannot lah. You also cannot already. Cannot already. See, I think you train your muscle too much already. So the muscle too strong. So this one cannot get. Not easy. Okay, so there are many parts. If this area actually, you know, like I really cannot touch my toe anymore, right? So it actually involves your backache problem. You will find that if you can stretch better, you prevent backache. You really prevent backache. So it helps stretching. In your note, actually there are stretches for the upper end only, to prevent your ache on your upper end, but the lower end you must also learn to do the stretches on the lower end. Okay. I'm not promoting yoga, okay, but I have to, since you all are going to be a health director and teaching your churches, so you need to recognize that yoga is a form of flexibility and some kind of strength training also. They use the body weight as a strength training. Okay, you need to recognize, you need to explain to the people who come to your classes, because you are going to use this as an outreach also, right? It's possible. So I need to leave it. Originally, I almost wanted to cancel it. I don't want you all to think that I'm promoting yoga, because Pilates, which is not a form of so-called religious spiritual element, is as good an exercise. You know, I think people, some very conservative Adventists, which I also agree, is that actually yoga and Tai Chi has spiritual element in it. That actually is not agreeable for a conservative, Christian value, Adventist value. Okay, but I would like you all to recognize, because your participants come to your class, they can become from all faith. So if they ask you, you I do this, does it have this? You need to be able to explain to them this belong to what system. It help you to what system. And I guess generally in the entry level, now yoga is a system only. A lot of people use it to make money, so they don't know the spiritual value part. You You know, a lot of people, they don't know the spiritual value, but a lot of Chinese teaching yoga, so they don't know the spiritual. But if you go to the deeper one, definitely, okay, spiritual element is definitely there, because yoga is also a way of life. So it will contradict the Adventist way of life. Okay, it's a way of life. Tai Chi is a way of life. And then when David Pham told me, hey, don't learn it, because the real Tai Chi Sifu tell me, if you really want to learn, the aim is to kill the opponent. The aim is to kill the opponent. Hey, Adventist, how can you kill? Right? It's against the Ten Commandments. Right? So, but for your knowledge purpose, you must know that yoga is a very good stretching exercise. But Pilates, one that is without involving religion, is a good stretching exercise, because sometimes for you to explain everything, I don't have the expertise, so I refer you all to another system, okay, a good exercise system. So some people who ask you then you know, okay, yoga use this, but there are also general exercises, just use general stretching. Okay, so this is the FITT part which I told you about. Okay, I didn't explain. So frequency, how often do you do exercise? So here it says aerobic at least 3 times a week. At least 3 times a week. But actually nowadays they also say most days of the week. Best is actually do 6 days a week. Only give yourself 1 day off. Okay, best. Okay, for aerobic. Okay, then strength training is at least 2 times a week. Flexibility again is 3 to 5 times. Then aerobic minimum 20 minutes. But you can do longer. Is that too much? Is there a limit of too much? I have read for running, they say don't run more than, let me think, I think it's 450 minutes. 450 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Don't run too much. It's not written here, okay? This is off my memory. I tell you. What is too much? Okay? So generally, we won't have that time to do too much. But you must be cautious, because there are some extreme people in your attendance also. They will run too much. Okay, but of course, this too much is maybe for general people. There are people who are able to withstand this kind of running, because now ultra marathon, they run 50 kilometers is considered not a lot. Yeah, 100. 100. There are 100, and even I think there are even some longer than that, right? It's crazy, it's crazy. So these are extreme people. So you might just want to tell them that, we are teaching people to be more physically active. We are not going to talk about those. That is, to me, even a current full marathon is not healthy practice. Yeah, it's not a healthy practice. Okay, I must confess, I have done it one time. I don't think it's healthy. For health purposes, I don't need to do so much. Okay, it's better to do useful labor. You run for the sake of making. Sometimes I think I run for the sake of keeping yourself very good health. It's a bit of selfish, I was thinking a bit selfish. But of course, our body belongs to God. We must use it to glorify God. So we must keep ourselves healthy. So we need to do some exercise. But how much is already enough? Because if to train, I tell you, for me to train this full marathon, how much I have to run? I have to spend a lot of time in running. So would it be more profitable if I cut that half and do Bible memorization, or go give Bible study, and still have the benefit of the health? I run half of what I used to train to do full marathon. It's a simple question for me to answer myself. Yeah, maybe this one is better. I cannot be spending time on running and not witnessing for God, not doing outreach, not doing any other thing, just for my own benefits. Okay, that's my own logic, just to share with you. Just pass through my mind. Okay, so strength training, 1 to 3 sets, 8 to 12 repetitions. But if I tell you to tone your muscle for your pain, if you use lighter than what you can tahan, if you push until very heavy, then 8 to 12 repetitions is enough lah. But if you want to tone, you can do beyond 12 repetitions, it's okay. Okay, like this one, you want to do 30, 50, it's okay lah. Yeah, in fact, you swing without having a weight, you swing 100 times, your shoulder also will feel better, your neck will feel better, but it takes too long. Okay, for me, your exercise of improving your computer pain, 5 minutes a day, 5 minutes a session, good enough. So I really believe in busy places with busy people, you cannot tell them to do too long the exercise. So aerobic exercise, 20 minutes enough. You know, you warm up 3 minutes, and then after that you run a bit faster on the treadmill or on the road, and that's it. That's good enough. Okay, 20-30 minutes is good enough, and 45 minutes is very good already. Okay, what time of the day is best? It depends on where you are. You know, in cold country they may run it at the lunchtime. Okay, and even now in Penang, some multinational, the people, they don't go out for lunch, they go to the gym and run, and then they only take a small snack only after the running. They take a small. They go exercise. 45 minutes of the time of the lunch break, they do exercise for maybe 40 minutes, and another 20 minutes they rest for a bit. You know, maybe wipe themselves up or take a bath, and then they have a small snack before they get back to work. Okay, so of course it's easier for you to find your suitable time. When you have regularity, it's more likely that you form habit, then you are more likely to repeat, more likely to stick on to this good habit. It's like devotion. If you do it every day, you will not forget anymore, right? If you do it for 3 years, quite likely you will not. Even though you are very busy, also you remember. It's part of you already. Like I always use the illustration of brushing teeth. I think none of you will forget brushing teeth, even though how tired, right? Even though how rushed, you will remember. You know, you regret when you come here to this higher advisory. You regret when you don't bring your toothbrush. You will go out to buy, right? Or is there a shop downstairs? You go and buy your toothbrush, or the hotel provide you a toothbrush, right? You cannot tahan 3 days without brushing teeth. Why? You're not addicted to brushing teeth, right? So same way. If you exercise regularly, it will become a habit. It's not very easy to stick, but it will stick. Like doing devotion is the same thing. Okay? You don't exercise when you are sick, when you are ill, when you have common cold or flu. It's not advisable because it can worsen your illness. Okay? Actually, one of my cousins, when he was 21 or 20 years old, he was strong. He was a national volleyball player, and when he was sick, he was still jogging in KL. So then he got viral encephalitis, infection of the brain, and he died at the age of 21. National volleyball player. What a waste, right? So be careful. I think when you advise people, So food also, don't exercise before or after meal immediately. Okay. Okay. Exercise for special need people. People who have problems, who have illnesses, can they exercise? Okay. First is it's not true that asthmatic cannot exercise. It's not true that a person with heart bypass or put stent cannot exercise. But I think this one, they need expert to guide them. So I think to keep it simple for you all, very mild, very slow exercise, you all keep them company, maybe is okay. But if you're not too sure, then maybe just advise them to go to see the expert, exercise expert. I think it's not good to tell them to go to see doctor, because some doctors, they themselves don't exercise and they don't know knowledge about exercise. So they may not advise them to exercise at all. But go for exercise experts, I think slowly we will have more and more people with this kind of expertise in our country. Okay, special need. Okay, so unaccustomed. So you can adjust. Like for example, this kind. Okay, this kind of step can easily gotten from sports shop. Exercise is for everyone. It is possible. Everyone can do it. Okay. What's the risk of exercise? So if people, I think injuries, okay, basically more like injuries. So if you see your note, it says that you act your age. I think that's a very good advice that I think take note. Younger one, maybe it's not time yet, but as I age, I recognize it's very important. I observe it in my father. It's very important. If according to the age, actually they should use, sometimes use aid, use help, use tongkat or something when you walk. Okay, walking is one of the best exercise. Okay, walking is one of the best exercise. All right, how to prevent injury? Exercise regularly, gradually increase the intensity, rest in between session, warm up, cool down. What do you do? Warm up. Actually, you do a slower exercise, or you just stretch a little bit. Is considered warm up. Okay. Stay flexible. Of course, you do stretching. Don't exercise when you're sick. Don't exercise when your muscle is already strained and aching. What are the proper way of exercise? I think get good guidance. If you have injury, actually you rest is best. Okay, but you can use ice. You can use compress. Use wrap, elastic bandage. You can elevate. Okay, so these are the simple way. This one I think probably another class of hydrotherapy I also can teach you. Alright, so this one is from church. Church one, actually they give you a lot of questions to help you to answer possible question. So I won't go through it again. I would like to give you all. This one is just do nice. I know older people also exercise, younger people also exercise. Okay, how much exercise? Okay, what are the intensity? So I think here it says it guides you to say what are the intensity. Okay, inactive, totally no exercise. Then some exercise up to 150. That's low. Medium is 150 to 300, and then the level 4 is more than 300 minutes per week. Okay. The greater the exercise, the more benefits. But of course, the greater the exercise, the more risk of getting injury and all the risk of exercise. Okay. So the easier ways to do moderate exercise is good enough. And what is the moderate exercise? Actually, walking is a good exercise. If you don't have useful physical labor like planting fruits tree or planting flowers. Okay, so walking is an easy exercise. Proper clothes is important. I believe part of the problem why Malaysia people have very low vitamin D is because nowadays a lot of conservative Muslims will wear tudung and wear very long, so all these things actually really cover up the free supply of God for vitamin D. Bright color, yeah, you must be aware if you go outdoor along the road, if you don't wear bright, if you go cycling, if you go running, you can be hit by cars, okay, or motorbike. It has happened. Okay, it has happened. So beware of this danger. Cold is unless you go to overseas. Okay, protective gear, proper gear. Okay, cycling using a helmet. This roller skate using wrist guard, knee guard, elbow guard. Proper shoes. This is good one. Exercising faith, including some spiritual aspect. But looking at this question, I'm not sure you need me to answer them or not, but they are all in your notes, so that some are just per life application question. Okay, for you to motivate yourself to exercise, what you think is the most important benefit for you. Okay, how can I live longer, better? So unless you have question, I won't repeat all these things. These are just for you to think through, and because they don't have right or wrong question, some the beginning part at least. Okay, these are all just reflection question for you. When you conduct training, you can help people to think this through. Let me see if there's maybe I will answer this question. What benefits would come from exercising with friends? There's no right or wrong answer, right? So maybe you all can contribute. You like to answer this? Who like to answer this? Don't have to stand up. You just open your mouth and say. Yeah, Pastor Dennis is very right. You have a group. You're more likely to do it. You're committed to a group. Why? I must explain to you why I'm still keeping on my hiking. Because of my group, my hiking buddies. So that's one exercise a week that I won't miss, even though it's going to rain. Only thunderstorm we won't go. Heavy rain, we won't go. But otherwise we will still go. Light rain, we will still go. Okay, because of motivation, because of you want to meet your friend, you want to chit chat with them. So yeah, motivation. Okay. Psychology, yes, good. Okay, so there's a good reason. If you form a group, it helps you to exercise. Yeah, this is if you run and you are able to talk, maybe you can use that time, because some people who are very busy, so if you live in Klang Valley, maybe some people are like that. So while they jog, when they do some exercise, if they can talk to the people, keep touch with them. But for most of us, no we don't do this. Okay, all these questions for thinking, for you to stimulate your listener. Okay, this is again a practical question to teach people. So if your neighbor know what kind of gift, if you want to buy gift for them, or if you have Sabbath school, 13/7, you want to buy kids gift, instead of buying them food, which is generally most common thing. So people buy coloring pencil, plasticine, all these things. So all the useful things, instead of encouraging people to eat unhealthy food, right? Or buy exercise equipment for them. Okay, work with your wife, work with your husband, so you can improve bonding besides having exercise. Okay, good clothes, shoes. Okay, so I think I want to take question, but I would like to promote Adventist Hospital, Penang, since they are the one who sponsor my trip here. Yeah, I mean, for all of you come from various churches. Actually, we trying to spiritualize the church. I mean, the hospital. Currently, we have 20% of our staff Seventh-day Adventists. Okay, only 20%. Of course, we would like committed Seventh-day Adventists to work in the hospital, so that we can exert better influence among our colleagues, and also witness to the people who come to seek treatment. Okay, so we are looking for this staff. If you want to look at them, you can look at them in the PAH website. But these are all professional, like nurse, supervisor, midwife. We also have education, and we also look for suitable people to apply for chaplain, dietitian, executive, material executive, clinic assistants, security guard. Temporary, when you after Form 5, you also can come and work while looking for opportunity to further study. Okay, education opportunity, assistant nurse, 24 months training, only require 2 credit in SPM. Okay, one of which must be BM, and then if they can get a pass in BM oral and English. Diploma nursing is 3 years program. Okay, the requirement is more stringent, 5 credits. STPM also can apply. All this nursing is actually a very secure job for people who are still looking for direction. Because after you get your training, if you decided not to do nursing, not as sayang as people who already got their doctor degree and don't want to do doctor, right? And nursing is a good basic training for you to spin off to do other things. But many other industry also like nursing as a way, a nursing training to do work for them in many ways. So it's a good way to change. And if you need sponsorship, you have money problem, also actually hospitals also sponsor, and probably you also can get loan for mission or various options. Okay, for education, union, in combination of union, we are still providing a doctor degree study in Christian Medical College. This one you can contact Dr. Edward Nathan or Dr. Raymond Ta. Dr. Raymond Ta's secretary is here. Okay, Singhi is here. But Dr. Edward came yesterday, so you all should know his contact also. Otherwise, you can contact Sister Ellen Nathan also. Okay, Ellen Nathan also. So I think that's all my presentation. Any question? Yes, Pastor Lam.
Just a quick one. Is this one is still available? Because I heard that it's not.
It's still available. It's still available. There are some difficulty in India because of Indian Medical Council want to enforce this entrance exam. Christian Medical College is still fighting with the court. Christian Medical College is a very daring organization. It's a faith-based organization. It's not Seventh-day Adventist. It's interdenominational, mainly run by the Matoma Church and maybe the Anglican Church of the So it's in the independence, but it's Protestant definitely. So they respect Seventh-day Adventist faith, respect our Sabbath keeping. So it's a very good collaboration. They are bringing the case into the High Court in. You can pray for Christian Medical College. They are still having the hearing currently, so they may win. They already won at least twice against the government, against the Indian Medical Council. In fact, last year they had such great faith in God that they refused to take in students because Indian Medical Council want to force them to take their students. So CMC aim is to train faithful missionary doctors instead of just taking academically qualified students. So they didn't want to follow that system. They say we are minority, so we have a unique way of selecting and training the doctors. So it's not based on academic only. So because of this, so it's still available. It's not easy. It's basically legal problem. But it's still available. It might still open suddenly this year. So if people who want to prepare themselves, it's probably easier to go through the A-level way. Probably better to take A-level rather than taking SCPM. But you can take STPM. STPM a bit tricky because STPM don't give you mark sheet. Okay, you need to get average of physics, chemistry, biology more than 70 on the average. The 3 subjects, 70%. But unfortunately, STPM don't give you the mark. They give you a big range of marks, so which can be a problem. So it's better to take A-level. A-level will give you mark sheet, right? I understand that way, but otherwise, if you need help, you please contact Sing Yi or Dr. Edward Nathan or Sister Ellen Nathan also can help. Yeah, it's easier to. I feel if you can afford, it's easier to do A-level. Australian matriculation may not, because they are not familiar. The problem in India is even more rigid than Malaysia. Malaysia quite rigid, but we are already more open nowadays because of the environmental forces. So we are very open. Now I think a lot of you probably are familiar. Even a lot of church members running homeschool, ICGSC, and all these sort of things. So all the colleges also accept. But India is still very, very traditional, like our public university. They only accept certain things. Actually I did not have SCPM, I did not have A-level. So, but I entered CMC 34 years ago. Okay, so it's that time actually there's back door, and also the back door is quite special. I have to thank. There's a church member that you might want to visit. He run a clinic, but he doesn't become this. Is a Dr. T. Seng Kiong. I think he lives somewhere in the Setapa area. He has his clinic in the Setapa area. Yeah, he helped me. He went and then he really can talk like the Indian. He went to the University of Madras and talked to the person, the registrar. Can. No, my high school degree is from Ontario, Canada. And he just talk, and the person give. And those days only just, I think Renita, you familiar with all this. Those days one-time eligibility certificate for all application. Now every year you have to apply. Oh, so if every year you apply, you jolly well get something that every registrar will recognize. You cannot. Otherwise, you get through this guy, you have another problem. So A-level is very safe.
So it's just for LDPS only.
Other sponsorship are easier. Sorry, I should have said that even other area in CMC like physiotherapy, occupational therapy. I think these are all good courses, but I think a lot of us probably will not want to go there because their requirement is all must be at least A-level. Yeah, but the entrance requirement is not as high. MBBS is 70%. I think the rest are like nursing. Even nursing, they want A level, you know. So, but maybe it's only 50% of the entrance requirement.
But the union sponsorship is just for MBBS or for...
Those things we can sponsor, I think, from PAH, but MBBS is a union sponsorship.
Okay.
MBBS, because the seat is so precious, you can't simply get the seat. Do you know that? Do you know how much it costs for you to get into any private or to study in any private medical school in Malaysia? Guess? Can you guess?
$500,000.
No. Malaysia, not 1 million. Malaysia, like Malacca Madipal or AIMS in Sungai Petani. How much do you need? 300,000. Okay, that's a good. The people are more in touch now. It's about 300,000. Okay.
But INU costs more.
INU cost more. Yeah. The prestigious one, INU and Monash and Penang Medical College cost more. Okay, but if you just want to get a medical degree, AIMS from Sungai Petani or Malacca Madipal or banyak lah, MSU lah, banyak lah. Cost about 300,000, and then with the living expense. Okay, do you know how much? Do you want to take a guess how much CMC will cost you? Do you want to guess? Berapa? Okay, how much for the whole course? I'm talking about whole course. Okay, from day one you fly there, then you eat, you pay the tuition fee. Do you know how much it costs? There's one number. Okay, 100,000. Anyone else? 150. No, you must go lower. It's less than 100,000. Okay, not 150. 150 can.
50, 80.
Yeah, it's about 60,000. About 60,000. About 10,000 per year only. Include food, lodging, everything. Tuition fee, books, everything. And I think Jeevan even went for touring. I don't know how much he spent. You want to know, you ask him. He went touring. Okay? My time, Union spent about 24,000 Sing dollars on me. Okay? On me. 24,000 for the whole course, not for 1 year, okay? For my whole course. And they pay me every month 550 rupees stipend also. I got 550 ringgit stipend. That is included, and all my expenses only about 24,000 Sing dollars. But remember, I say 34 years ago. I entered 34 years ago.
So it means one person only per year. Still,
Now they are saying even more than 1 person can, because now it's 100 seats per year. Last time 60 seats. 60 seats so really 1 person only, because there are about 48 sponsoring body. Okay, sponsoring body is like a church, like SAUM is a sponsoring body. Okay, SAUM is a sponsoring body. So each sponsoring body also at least one student, because they need the doctor to supply the mission hospital. Otherwise, they don't have enough doctors to work in their mission hospital. But now they increase it to 100 seats. So they say, if you have 2 students, if there's no eligible, even you have 3 also can. Even 3 also can. But we have not got the chance before, because we don't have enough applicants. Since they have the 100 seats, we don't have enough applicants. So we have not got this chance. But in the days of like Dr. Edward, we have 2 students, because Hong Kong was a sponsoring body also. So we had Dr. Koh Deng Hua and Dr. Edward. And then Dr. Daniel Yeo time, Dr. Ma Wai Cheng and Dr. Daniel Yeo. And then Dr. Pang's time, Dr. Pang and Dr. Davison Ho from Singapore mission. But those days, Singapore and Malaysia were one mission. Yeah. No, Hong Kong withdrew already. But then now CMC and Penang Adventist Hospital make conscientious effort to make friends with them, because now we have come to the leadership, my level, where we still keep in touch with our schoolmate, and Dr. Daniel Yeo's classmate is the director now. Is the CEO of the CMC. CEO of the CMC. So it's not just the college principal, it's the CEO. Okay. Dr. Pang Chu Yan's, let me think. Dr. Daniel Yeo's classmate also is the college principal. I think it's Dr. Daniel Yeo's classmate, it's not Dr. Pang Chu Yan's classmate. So it's our batch now. So Dr. Daniel is just 2 years senior to me, Dr. Pang Chu Yan 3 years senior. So all these people leading, and they are very good relationship with us. So we make conscientious efforts twice a year. We go to their meeting. Sometimes emergency meeting, we also go there. Because they are faithful Christian. They are really faithful Christian. They just have not seen, maybe we have not, but they understand Sabbath. But they just have not accept the present truth. Even next year, this year, by June, the MMA president, the coming MMA president, Malaysia Medical Association president, Muhammad Namizi, he is a CMC graduate. He is a Muhammad Namizi, okay? Muhammad Namizi. He understands Sabbath. He understands Sabbath because anyone who has gone through CMC have Seventh-day Adventist classmates who will not go to class on Sabbath, and so there's no exam. Okay, but during his time, Muhammad Namizi's time, there are faithful Seventh-day Adventists who refuse to sit exam because those days actually the university exams still fall on Sabbath, and these people, because of that, they will just have to let go the exam and wait for the next exam and fail, okay, and fail because they didn't attend exam. Okay, so because of those our seniors' faithfulness, we actually reap the benefit. They will never ask us to go to school on Saturday classes, or they will not set internal exam will never be on Sabbath. But now even university exam also not on Sabbath because CMC is so powerful in India now. There won't be exam on Sabbath, and even when we start work as a doctor, automatic they will not. In fact, they will ask you to go. Hey, Friday evening you can go already. You please go. We will cover for you. Yeah, but they expect us to work on Sunday, which anyway we must humbly obey, right? So every Sunday we work. Okay, when we started working, every Sunday we work. Yeah, they also happy to have an Adventist there because then every Sunday they get off. Yes, Renita.
Do they offer BDS?
Dietitian, dietitian. Dental, yes, but unfortunately, Malaysia government don't recognize. Yeah, I think dentistry is not recognized. Yeah, but yes, they have. Hey, let me think. Is there? No. I'm not sure. Please check with. Please
I one member
apply.
Study dental and then come back to Malaysia.
CMC not CMC. Renita should know there are plenty of dental colleges in India, but CMC, I'm not sure. Have to ask Dr. Edward. I think maybe don't have. I don't remember.
Okay.